Chaos Managed. Let's talk.
Okay.
How to read VA decision letters.
That's a great question.
It is a great question. We're going to dive into that after we give our brief little disclaimer here.
Yeah.
Because we all know we're not attorneys.
We're not counselors.
No, we're not doctors.
We're not advisors. No, we're not employed by the VA.
I was going to say we're nothing, but that's not true because we're couch talk.
We're nothing. Great.
So just kind of take that into consideration. Take that into consideration as you're gathering this information because we have no legal means of putting anything
We're not
out there.
telling you, advising you to take this path.
No.
All we're doing is we're walking this path ourselves. And as we're coming across information,
we're just throwing it out there. Yeah, we're sharing out what we knew.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay,
let's go into this whole thing. How do you read these silly decision letters?
Finally get that envelope in the mail or an email, and the next thing you know, you're sitting there staring at pages and pages of VA language because we all know how that goes.
Well, it's wonderful if you get the letter, and then the very beginning of it, it says, we have given you,
congratulations, you're getting XYZ next.
But the one that comes in that says, sorry, you've been declined.
3 pages worth of whatever.
Well, because they give you the whole rationale behind why.
And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the 3 different kinds, the granted, denied, deferred, your effective date, and then favorable findings. Yeah. And then somehow you finish reading it.
And you're still confused.
It's like, what the hey?
So we're going to take the time, break this all down on how you actually read this VA decision letter and, put it into plain English because let's face it, that works best for the majority of us. So it's like, what important information, what important sections are there here? And what you need to pay attention to. And let's see the steps.
Next steps.
The steps that you may need to take going forward.
Copy on. Okay, we're diving in. So what is a VA decision letter?
Oh, that's my part? Okay, good.
Please explain, Lucy.
All right, Ethel. It simply is the official explanation of the VA's decision on your claim.
Yeah, it actually explains different things. What's granted, what was denied, ratings assigned, your effective date, and why the decision was made.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of important, the why.
Well, yeah, definitely the why, because that means if you look into the why, you can appeal. Probably. There's the possibility of appealing it if there's a why for a no.
Yeah, if you remember in prior episodes, we had talked about that. Go back and watch them. Yeah. In prior episodes, we had talked about that they kind of give you a roadmap in their communication. It's just being able to delve into it, pull it apart, and
need a little bit of discernment.
Yeah.
Pull it apart, sentence by sentence, word by word. So all these things that we're talking about, what it explains, you may not have every single one of these items in your particular letter, but we're just saying that these are the possibilities of what might show up in your letter.
Yeah, and this letter, it isn't paperwork. No. It's actually a roadmap of your claim,
Exactly.
And they give that explanation to you. We're diving.
Alrighty, so when you get this, here's what the first thing that the veteran is going to usually look at.
Flip through all the pages going, oh my, how many pages are here?
Overwhelm syndrome. That should be a new thing.
The percentage. It's the percentage. That is the first thing everybody is looking at.
Well, they want to know.
Well, yeah, it does matter.
Well, yeah, because... And from the veteran's point of view, you got something going on, so you automatically assume they're going to say, okie dokie, you're approved, so you want to know how much am I approved for. Not always the case. So, that percentage is something that really does matter because you want to know, even if you got a 0% rating, that's your foot in.
But you also want to know the why because that foot in gets you information that you can go back and say, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. You missed this, and this.
Right. Because it's not an end all. If you get something that says, okay, you only get X%, or sorry, your claim is rejected, that's not great. File 13, everything I've got. No, that is just like, okay, what happened here? Because I know that I do have a claim. And it helps you to go back, redo. It's kind of like when you had to write an essay in high school.
Oh, yeah.
You did the first draft. Your teacher looked at it and said, marked it all up.
You need to go back and look more into this, and this.
What's this paragraph about? You kind of, I don't understand, expand, those. And that's exactly what this lets you do. It's like a critique.
That's a great explanation, because that's what it is. It's a critique of all the paperwork you've submitted. Right. And if something is missing, if the information isn't quite, whatever, they're giving you, like we said, that roadmap. It's an explanation.
Exactly. There's never there's never this door that slams shut when it comes to doing things.
No.
Alrighty.
Granted, denied, and deferred. Let's talk about what do they mean.
Okay. Well, the obvious one
is granted.
It is. You're not taking it for. No, it's been given to you, granted. This means the VA service has approved the service connection that you've got on your claim.
Yep. So they are agreeing that the condition is connected to service.
Right. And this means that they are giving you a rating percentage.
Yes.
Anywhere from 0 to 100.
Yeah, based on whatever it is that you applied for, whatever.
And what it fits into their whole table schedule.
Yeah.
But even if you get that, you still, if you figure that that's not quite where you ought to be, you can still go digging back in.
Yeah, most
Nobody
definitely.
says you can't.
Most definitely. Granted.
Okay, number 2.
What happens if you get the letter and it's got the words denied?
Rejection sucks.
It does.
No matter what the rejection is for.
But all it means is the VA didn't approve your claim.
Well, that's it. It was nothing personal.
No.
It just simply means that they think that you're lying. Well, no, they don't.
No, they don't think you're lying.
They don't think that you're lying.
And they don't think that your condition isn't real.
No. It just, maybe there wasn't enough information from their perspective that connected all the dots in order to establish that service connection to say, okie dokie, you've got a claim.
This is why it is so important to really read that letter, because sometimes you'll find in the letter evidence is missing.
Right.
The connection wasn't established. Documentation wasn't all there. I mean.
Yeah. So it's kind of putting it before you. They're not strictly looking and saying, okay, we're denying it, but we would like for you to please provide. Like how sometimes when you have loan documents, they'll come back after you fill things out. Okay, we need you to provide blah, blah, and blah.
Yeah, here's your checklist.
But the VA kind of does that obscurely by listing there was not a significant connection on this, or we did not have supporting evidence for that.
Yeah.
So they don't come right out and say, could you please give us a doctor's note?
No, they're not going to tell you what they need, but they're going to give you an explanation that points you in a direction.
Exactly. You have to kind of flip it upside down and look at it as, they're looking for more stuff.
Yeah.
They're not asking for it, but it's on you to go and look at it and say, okay, they need more information. I can do that.
Yeah, I can find that. Yeah, because often it means that the VA, they believe that something is missing,
right?
But not necessarily that nothing is wrong.
Right.
So read those letters carefully.
Definitely. Okay. Okay. And this one can be confusing. Deferred.
Yeah, deferred.
What is deferred?
Can be. Well, that means that they don't have a final decision yet. They need more information.
But they don't ask for information.
Well, and I guess if they defer your claim, and I really don't know, I don't know how often a claim gets deferred.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have not looked into it because we're not that far enough into the process to be deferred, denied, or given the holy grail of all. But okay, so the grand hope.
Okay, when we're talking about missing information, it's not necessarily it could be like they want you to go in for more exams by a physician,
it
clinician.
Could be. They might be setting up another C&P.
It could be.
Don't know.
Maybe there are more records that they might see that, okay, there's enough things here to connect stuff, kinda, but they want a little bit more information. So they're going to look for more records.
That makes sense when you think about it, because think about this. You submit your claim, and while they're going through it, you might still be continuing to go to that same doctor.
Very true.
So in that 6-month period, you might have had 4 more visits.
Oh, easily.
Which they could want that information from you to see the progression from the point in time you filed until now.
Yeah. Because it solidifies your claim.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And then it's possible that they might actually just need clarification on some of the information. And
that could be handled by maybe a nexus letter from the doctor that they clarify what an issue is.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's not necessarily a no. It just, they need more.
We need more.
We want more. Everybody always wants more.
I know. What's up with that?
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing that we want to talk about is understanding your rating percentage.
And this can get so complicated. So we're going to try to make it easier by saying that the VA assigns you a percentage, and they base it on severity, your functional impact, and symptoms.
Yeah, and if you totally missed the episode on the VA disability rating, that ain't mathin', go back and find that and watch that one, because VA math
it's different than
it's its own beast.
New math.
Yeah, it is not your average common core.
No, it's its own experience. Separate case.
So go find that one and experience it. Okay, so.
Okay, so
the next thing we're going to look at.
This is very important, is your effective date and why that date matters.
Yeah, and many say that this is huge information because the effective date determines when your compensation begins.
Right, and what we mean by that is if you submit a claim, get it in as early as you possibly can, my personal opinion, because that timestamps your claim. So, for instance, we'll use easy dates. You file something and it timestamps January 1, and it takes the VA the entire year to go through your claim and back and forth paperwork. Maybe you have to throw in an appeal, and maybe it takes them all the way to the end of December to come back and finally say, okie dokie, here you go. We approve, you've got X percentage. Guess what? They are going to be retroactive in paying you back to your effective date.
And I think we can go one better on that, because did you know that you actually have the ability to file an intent to file the claim? So if you know you're going to be putting a claim together, you file your intent, and all you have to do is say, I'm going to put in a claim.
You don't even have to tell them
and then,
what for.
Nope, you're going to sign that, date that, and get that in. That reserves that date.
Yes, it does.
You have 1 year from that date to gather all the information, put that claim in.
Right.
So even if it takes you that year
and then another year,
and then another year for them to make a decision, you're looking at 2 years worth of back pay.
Yeah. So that effective date is very important.
And that's why they say it is huge information.
It is. So don't just sit on it thinking, oh, well, I don't have all my ducks in a row yet. Let them duckies swim around the pond for a while. Just get in, at a bare minimum, get in your intent to file a claim.
Yeah, because that small decision can actually mean a big financial difference for you.
Exactly. And the other thing is, too, is when you file that, don't procrastinate, because you've got a year to get all your claim information in.
Well, no, because if you're working with a VSO, they might want more information.
It can take some time to gather information, especially if you've been multiple doctors and time periods that you're filing.
You're dealing with that now.
I had to go back to a doctor that's over 24 years previous.
Yeah.
Getting information. So, consider these things, get that in and get working on it. But even if you're just not even 100% sure that you're so lacking in confidence that you're going to get approved for anything and you're poo-pooing the whole deal, do it anyway.
Yeah,
just do it anyway.
Do it.
Because sometimes this will be the catalyst to get you moving on something. And when you start finding information, you'll have some aha moments along the way and may possibly even come up with some, oh, well, that could be put into my claim
I was unaware. Yeah, I was the unaware.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely worth looking into.
Okay.
So what impacts your effective date?
The calendar.
True. Because generally it's the date that the claim was filed.
Yeah.
The intent to file date that we just talked about.
Right.
But sometimes there's also special circumstances. So you need to check your effective date carefully.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking those special circumstances would be, it's not your intent to file date, and they chose a different date because they found something in between. So you might not necessarily.
Yeah, not having come across that
I haven't
scenario.
Run into it, but I was trying to figure out what the heck special circumstances would be.
Oh, if anybody goes digging around and gets some more details on that,
let us know about
something in the comments. What you know about it. That would be great information.
Yeah, and then we can pass that on to everybody.
Definitely.
Okay, so.
Okay, so favorable findings. This is really, really important.
This is actually the gold
standard.
Many veterans overlook it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good.
Well, no, but favorable findings, they're one of the things that the VA, it just means that they already agree with.
Okay, for example, you have a current diagnosis that's already in existence. Yeah. That's what current means. But so basically, the exposure or the event, yep, it happened.
Yep, if they've already got that.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you've got documented symptoms, we know. So these are the kind of things that it would be favorable findings because they're already in agreement with you. They already agree you have these things.
Yes, and that might actually help support your claim for the future claim or an appeal.
Right.
So as you're going through and you're reading that letter and you're seeing favorable findings, you might want to highlight it.
Oh, yeah.
Make a note about it.
I love highlighters.
Because we are keeping this letter. Remember, we already told you, keep all your paperwork. Keep it all.
Even if they send it to you via email. Print it off. Never trust electrical devices.
I know.
Okay.
Now we get to the evidence section.
Yeah, you're going to want to read this very, very carefully because this is kind of the meat you really want to get your hands on because it can help you get your claim put back together again in the event that you have a deferral or a denial.
You need to make an appeal or what if you don't agree with the percentage that they offered and you want us resubmit something?
Right. You're going to find it all in this neat
They're going
section.
to tell you what records they reviewed and what evidence they considered.
Right. Because let's consider the fact that you, for example, with your current situation in the claim, banker's box worth of information that was supplied. I seriously am in doubts that anybody, if they're like Congress, are going through a smidge of that information.
Yeah, they're probably going to roll through it, pick and choose what it is that they want out of it.
And the problem being is if they pick and choose the wrong thing, or if they pick something that this is a good topic here. Oh, but that doesn't have enough information. I mean, they don't go any farther, but the information is in there. Yeah. This is why going through all this stuff is important. This is why realizing that it's human beings going through this. They are not perfect themselves. So things can get overlooked.
Exactly. And the example of the things that they're going to point out to you is medical records, but they might just point out certain ones.
Right.
Private treatment records. And again, might just be certain ones. Your CMP exam.
Okay. We did a whole video on your CMP exam. You have to be very careful with the words that you choose because there's various situations where they're going to ask, so how are you doing today? Oh, I'm good. No, he's good. Guess what? No, you want to let them know, considering all else, made it here in one piece. You know?
I arrived on time. It's about as good as it's going to get.
You know, that's just it. Refer back to the CMP exam video because we go into depth about that information too.
Yeah.
And another example would be like your lay statements. And
yeah, that's very important. Yeah. That's like key evidence from what I've been reading.
Yeah.
That gets quite a bit of weight.
And just an FYI, the lay statement, that's what you as the individual can write. You can have people, maybe you're still in contact with some of those people that you served with, that they could provide supporting letter saying, yes, I was present when XYZ occurred, if you're tying it back to a specific event. Spouse, an elder, not elder, but like a young adult child that's around you that could give a letter stating what they observe and how you are
daily,
seeing, you know, how you are acting, thinking, moving, all those kind of things. So, and spousal, parental, all kinds of stuff. Maybe people you work with.
Yeah. And just make sure that important evidence is actually listed.
Yeah.
You need to look and see what evidence is out there that's listed. And if you put something in and you're not seeing that on the list, highlight that because make your notes, because that's when you go back, connect with the person. Right. In our case, we use a VSO, but connect back with the VSO or whoever you choose to work with and say, hey, in reading this letter, I'm seeing that XYZ was never even taken into consideration.
Right.
And they will help you to go through a process to correct that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now
all right. This is almost like the top 10 countdown, but, you know.
Casey Kasem?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm not singing.
That chicken. Come on, karaoke. All right. Reasons for decision. Yeah. This is the key section of this letter.
Yeah. And if you read nothing else carefully in this entire letter, read the reasons for the decision section.
Oh, why? Why do you want to do this?
Because it explains everything.
Does it?
Why the VA decided the way they did.
Well,
what might have been missing.
Huh. That's awful.
I know.
Okay. Examples. You don't have any diagnosis in there. There's no nexus or service connection letters in there. There's insufficient evidence because, well, maybe you didn't get all your documentation or or possibly you didn't get the complete file from a doctor. That's another thing.
Well, that's very possible.
Very, very specific when you are requesting your medical records to let them know everything you want.
The full record.
Most offices will send you a form that you have to fill out, and there's a section on there that asks you what you want. And it's going to be like, you can have nurse's note, doctor's note, operation room note. You can have things that would include your lab results. I mean, if you want your x-rays, imaging, all that stuff, you have to specifically tell them. And then a lot of them are going to ask you, how do you want to get this? In the mail?
We can put it on
electronically. Okay.
Email it.
Attach it to the pigeon. I don't know.
Ooh, a pigeon.
And the other thing,
go old fashioned with smoke signals.
Oh, yeah. Just be aware that some of these offices may tell you that there could be fees involved in order to get those records, which to me really sucks because you already paid the fee when you paid them to do the service.
Yeah, I don't understand why you have to pay for your own records.
But it's legal.
Yeah, well, it is.
So
it is. So just be prepared to shell out a couple of bucks for that
stuff. It's possible. But in the long run, let's face it, it's worth it if you get your rating either established, increased, what have you.
Yeah.
So, and for a better understanding on some of the things that we're talking about here with like the Nexus letters, CMP exams, claim mistakes, check previous videos.
Out previous videos. We can't stress that enough because even though we might touch on base. Stuff,
there's more to know.
There is more to know. There's always more to know.
Always. All right.
Okay, I read this thing.
Yeah, good for you. Awesome.
What should I do after reading it?
Smiley face, no red markers. All right. So if you have a letter that says granted, you want to review your percentage because they're, again, like we've said, you may not agree with it. You want to review the effective date because does it match with what you have recorded as when you submitted things? and you want to understand the conditions that have been approved. Does it match everything that you had on your claim?
Yeah. If your letter turns out to be that you were denied, the first thing you don't want to do is panic, because that doesn't help anything.
Oh, no.
The first thing you want to do is read the why. This identifies those missing pieces.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite the puzzle. And if you end up with a deferred letter response, well, you need to wait. Yay, more of that, because they're going to, you need to see how this is going to play out, additional developments that come along. Watch for appointments or requests that come from the VA.
Yeah.
So now you have your letter in hand, and we're going to talk about some common mistakes that vets make with these decision letters.
Yeah, one of the things is only looking at that percentage. Might be important to you. It's not the be-all, end-all.
Well, no, because sometimes those could be adjusted.
Yes.
Ignoring the effective dates that they're telling you.
Yeah, because if you don't look at that, it might not line up. And if you just ignore it and just say, woohoo, I got it, and throw it away,
don't throw it away.
You might not have gotten what you thought.
It's important.
Well, it definitely is.
Just skimming over or just not even reading the favorable findings. Just figuring, okay, well, that's good.
Yeah,
we're going to bypass that page.
And like we were saying, throwing the letter in a drawer, or worse, throwing it away.
Oh, never throw
anything away. This is your communication.
This is the time to hoard.
This is this is your roadmap.
It is.
This is your be-all, end-all.
And one of the worst things that you can do is simply assume that denial is, that's it. They've shut the doors, locked the gate. They have tossed you to the wolves.
No, it's not Porky Pig and the Little Looney Tunes saying that's all, folks. It doesn't mean the end. It just means that you need to regroup, read that letter well, follow the roadmap they gave you, and appeal.
Exactly. Because it's a decision letter. It isn't just an answer. It's information.
Yep. Always it's information.
Alrighty, so now you have
down to the wrap up here. We're asking ourselves, well, why does understanding this letter matter?
Well, the more you know, the more you know. So, I mean, seriously, the more that you understand your decision letter, the better for you to be able to move to the next step.
Well, and determining what that next step is.
Yeah.
I mean, that really helps you. This letter tells the story of how the VA looked at your claim.
Right.
This is how we viewed it. Yeah. So here you go.
Yes. In very confusing wording, but they do it. So did you know what favorable findings were? If you did, if you didn't, whatever it is, we want to know. Did you know about this before you watched our video? Make a comment, like, share, subscribe, follow, do all those good things.
Everything they tell you to do. Do it. Do it now.
We're trying to monetize people.
and we know the VA process can feel overwhelming.
Oh, yes.
But when you learn how to read the decision letter, things start to make a lot more sense.
Yeah, and that's really what it is you've got to get past that feeling of overwhelm and get into the understand. Yeah. So sometimes understanding the wording, it can be a little bit, it can be the difference between you completely coming to a standstill and quitting and actually knowing and understanding how to move forward.
Yeah, what's next? Taking the next step.
Yeah.
Just actually doing it.
Just doing it.
I agree. So there you have it, folks. Coffee on.
Chaos managed.
That's Couch Talk. Down to the rough.